welcome back to Bay 1. This is Drafalmarexi, doing a Evolve Respawning or Redux stream. As you probably know, the new version of Robocraft isn't actually here, and if you are surprised by this, why? I mean, this is a pretty consistent pattern for most of FreeJam's updates and releases. The initial release always has some kind of problem and it gets fixed a day later or something along those lines. So I'm not hugely surprised, and most of their official patch days are on Thursdays anyway. So the fact that it's coming out tomorrow instead of today fits in. Regardless of the reasons or whatever, then, you know, it's kind of what happens. Anyway, so I was planning on being able to show you lots of new features and all of that kind of stuff. That's not going to happen right now, so just a few games with these things and trying to answer any questions that people that are watching may have. Oh god, this is a terrible Megabot. It's literally got one strand between the front and back. I know it's a regenerator design, but whatever.
Plasma bomber spotted.
Well, tried my best. Let's try that again. This is slightly better regenerator style. Yeah, I screwed up. Yeah. And hi Nezuhishima. Nezuhishima. Okay, sorry. Welcome to the stream. Wow, that's one way to win. I've not only got 5 nanos on this, I've got more. You'll see there's 2 on the top, and there are 4 more underneath, so 6 nanos in total. Anyway, that's it for that particular vehicle. Now that I've got the ×2, so let's go and play on something else a little bit more fun. Well, that is fun actually, but let's see if I can do it on this design now. Again, this has got, well, way more nanos. Yeah, the front and rear ones can get missed when looking at it, or if trying to count the actual beams.
Plasma bomber spotted. Plasma hover spotted. Multibot spotted. Plasma bomber spotted.
Okay, we've got a guy there that's gonna die because he's out there on his own. Let's see if I can do anything to help the... No, I'm not going to get to him in time. Although if I'm lucky I might. Nope. Ah, just signed my own death warrant. Yeah, I screwed up on that game. Yeah, you can't say I make conventional designs at all. Yeah, this is very much a weird hybrid. And it hasn't been finished yet, so there's still a lot that has to be done to get it to really a game presentable state. Mostly in terms of just simple mass weight type optimizations on it. So as you can see, there's still a lot of standard cubes that need to be refined out to help just save on some of the excess mass. I'm working on it slowly though. This was never really intended to be a full completed design. It's something that just got thrown together for fun. and end up being actually quite fun to use, so it's stuck around. Yeah, these are all standard cubes. So anything here that actually helps reduce the weight is always helpful. So let's put that jammer back on there. Back to combat. Yeah, I can understand. Nez was saying, only time I build hybrids is when playing in the lower tier and having spare CPU. I can't stand having spare. Yeah, I understand that. I'm not sure what the original intent of this design was. I just started putting more thrusters and hover blades and stuff on it, and it ended up flying as well. So it was just, okay, what can you do as a crazy build?
Medic hover spotted.
Oops. Ah, stop shooting me. Ouch. And an update on Nez's comments. I'd rather use Prism with over Purin as myself. I mean, I just slap a bunch of T1 thrusters or maybe some T2 hovers on it. Seems surprisingly stable with only one rudder, unless there's more I can't see. Fusion Falcon's asking, am I doing countdowns today? Nope, I don't do countdowns. And there's the, in brackets, the T-stick flight mode that is, hovers don't need rudder. Yeah, hovers don't really need rudder, although the rudder does help to stabilize some of the turning capability. But yeah, I was just messing around to see how stable a flyer you can get just using one rudder, but not making it really a thruster stick. It was always meant to be some kind of... actually, no, it wasn't meant to be a flyer. It was meant to just be a heavily stabilized hovercraft. And then it was like, okay, how fast can I make this? And then it got fast enough where you careen off cliffs and go into the air, and it's like, okay, well, maybe I need some control systems in the air. So that's how it ended up like this. And hopefully in the new meta, if I swap out the guns for SMGs or something like that, it'll actually make a nice speedy scout or something. But yeah, we'll find out about that when the new meta goes live, so hopefully tomorrow. Well, it's a lot easier to control than the tier 1 thruster stick that I made. Well, thruster block or whatever the hell it is.
Rail hover spotted. SMG hover spotted.
And the key with this is to always make sure you keep moving, because sitting still is where you die. And flanking well. Game. Yeah, I've never actually built a proper thruster stick. This is about as close as you're ever going to see me get. I just don't agree with that style of gameplay. That's why I always insist in having something else on there. So yeah, it's... What else do I have here? This thing, I don't really like this design. I'm not sure, I know I was just messing around with plasmas on it, and I've got the plasmas on it, but I'm not a huge fan. But I've got it now, so I might as well use it. Oh, of course, the Tesla RAM underneath it. Completely useless. Can I get up the mountain? Here we come. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Get up the mountain. Ah. Almost. Close, but no cigar. And I'm wasting all of my time trying to get up here. Yeah, it's just not happening. Oh well. And meanwhile, the entire enemy team is coming around to blow me up.
Plasma hover spotted.
Ouch. Come on, dude. Repairs. There we go. There we go. Nope. Time to run. I'm dead. I think Nez is saying, I wonder if we'll see more 3-4 Mega Plasma on T10 builds once it gets a buff. Yes. I think that's a given.
Medic hover spotted.
And my team loses, oh well.
Hover spotted.
Although, honestly, I think it'll depend on just what kind of utility they bring to the design, because it's not like it's going to be, oh look, we're trying to just get a quick kill. You're going to be looking for more sustained damage over time. Whereas plasmas rely on doing a lot of damage in a very short hit, which, yeah, that's something that people are going to be messing with in a new meta in terms of what is effective and what isn't. Okay, I can replace those ones. I can replace these ones. Anything that helps reduce some of this atrocious mess. There we go. Yeah, they can be tetras. God, I've got no idea what half of this stuff was even intended for anymore. It's just inners? Yep, it's just inners. I think I was literally just throwing a T10 design together to test the plasmas with. Yeah, it was at the time I was working on Megabots and stuff, I was very short on RP, so I was just using what I had available to build this thing. So the frame was never completed, and it's not meant to get up close, so I didn't really consider it that important to actually convert everything over to tier 10, and it's only recently that I've actually got enough spare blocks to go ahead and actually work on this a little bit more. But it was never really designed to be a completed build, hence why I think I'm not even using tier 10 hovers. I might be, I'm not sure. Yeah, so it would probably be more effective if I just stuck legs on this thing, to be honest. Yeah. Plasmas don't shoot down that far. Oops. There you go, that's much better. And with Nez saying so many cubes that can be made prisms and a couple of prisms that can be made tetras, I'm all about lighting in my builds. I actually agree with you a lot on this one, although a lot of the reason why the bottom is so heavy on this is because these plasmas are so damn heavy, so you actually need some mass to offset that a little bit. But otherwise, yeah, it's you see where I've got these spars across here. These are all tetras on purpose because I don't really want weights. It's really just for structural reinforcement. But yeah, in mass where mass is due. Anyway, I've got my ×2 on that. It means I can give up on trying to play that damn design. What else have we got here? Yeah, let's play my Megabot. Now this thing, I mean there are a few bits that can be optimized and I've still got 100 CPU to use on it. But I'm still pretty happy with how it's working out at the moment. And mostly it comes down to just converting some of these blocks over to more usable items, but I need a lot more RP to go and buy some TX cubes, so I'm needing about 2 million I think before I can do that. Plus I also need to have a fair amount of RP in the bank to pay for any reworkings that I have to do on my existing bots to get them respawn capable. And hopefully I don't suck on this. Okay, so we've already got people going up around the sides. Team is waiting for me. Do we have... and we've got a couple of medics, so we're good on that front. Game over. And hi Slice, welcome to the stream, SCR23, yep, and thank you for the comments on the Megabot. It is quite good, it's still not really a finished design, but yeah, it's an effective design. I think I can say that much. Although, yeah, there's still a few things around here where I need to do some mass optimizations to just try and cut down a little bit of the excess weight. I mean, you're really not going to notice a huge amount of difference by cutting 5 or 10 kilograms off the top, but it makes me feel better. Let's just go ahead and buy 8 of these. And then I can go and switch clone mode on and fix these little niggling issues. Oops. They've been irritating me, so I've wanted to fix them. There we go, that's a little bit better. I mean, most of this is already very well optimized. I think there's a few spaces near the bottom where I can swap out cubes and stuff, but pretty much I've built the entire thing using prisms. Yeah, so you look at all of this, this is all prisms where possible, so yeah. Okay, back. I got the time still on that one, so we're good there. I'm actually going to strip the guns off of there because I need to switch to my bot that's in bay 14. Because this needs those 4 guns. This is actually my second ever Megabot design. Yeah, and Nez, as you pointed out, that's the entire reason for using that kind of plate is rotating around. Now, with the new meta, if you've got a Megabot, you're not going to be able to use Megabots in the new version of Robocraft in the maps on release, but they will make pretty brutal base defense things if you're not using electroplates due to the native healing. You literally just build a huge donut and revolve in place, and it's going to make it pretty hard for anyone to kill you because the base healing. I can, yeah, easily see that being an issue. But yeah, I designed some robots specifically to try and take care of, to try and take advantage of that kind of gameplay. And you can see a design for the hover donut on my channel at youtube.com/robocraftbay1. But yeah. I think I just called it the hover donut. I don't remember. It was a while ago. And I tried to rebuild it at some point, but the real boot version was never quite as good. No, it's not supposed to do that. Fuck. Usually when I jump off that cliff, I don't spin like that. I don't land upside down. Oops. My bad. I may have just cost my team the game by doing that kind of stuff. Oops. Okay. Come on. Move. Move. Move your ass. You're in my way. Thank you. I'm trying to... Dear God, this is why I hate ground megas. Because people just get in your damn way all the time. This is why I love Hovercraft, because people don't get in your way all the damn time. You can avoid them. Anyway. Yeah, you're doing the right thing. Take out their healer. Run away. Why did you take focus off me? I have no idea what their team's doing with taking focus off me, but I seem to have maybe saved the match. Okay, I almost failed, but that was actually a pretty good game. Anyway, yep, SC-23, it seems to fly around various places like a giant Armageddon, dish out SMG fire everywhere, true. Armageddon is, Nez says Armageddon is supposed to be cubey though, yep, very much, well the Armageddon is actually a wedge shape. SCR says much better than world megas which feel like they're stuck on one front, yes. As that game just demonstrated, world megas certainly have their issues. Sky Joe says, love your design and just play with you, thank you. How many cubes in this hover? Let me actually go and check how many when I don't actually have the guns off. The total design is 1,100, although I've got room to add I think another 200-300 cubes on there. Something like that. So it's the design actually isn't finished. I've still got to add the rest of the armor on, but in terms of a competitive design, it's already up there. Yeah, mention about hover donuts goes great with pizza hovers and ice cream sandwiches. Yes, that's true. Ground Mega should just be able to knock everything else out of their way. I agree with that as well. Is there a reason I don't use more TX blocks on my hover? I thought lighter is better for hover megas. Yes, there is a good reason. The reason is that you look at my RP. Okay, I've got 2 million now, but you see the number of blocks, TX blocks I've got? I don't. And the prices are going down in the new update. So I would rather buy them there because the prices are going to drop by about 20% than buy them now. So it's more cost effective to actually save that money than spend it. Yeah, so either way. Slice says depends. If one hover gets knocked off a hover, they fall to one side most of the time, making an easy kill on them. Well, that's because people aren't designing their hovers correctly. If you take a look at this, I'm using 3 hovers on a side, so what we got here is the front ones are actually slightly closer together. They're separated by 3 blocks. It just means that if you lose one, because they're sharing no connections, that you're not going to lose another hover blade. The middle ones here are actually stepped out by a block. This isn't absolutely necessary, but it helps a little bit for stability. So they're actually separated by 5 blocks, and of course the pilot seat is right in the middle of those. Although actually the pilot seat, yeah, it is, it's right in the middle. and the rear ones are again are stepped in by the same number of blocks, and you will see that there is enough space between each hover for a strand of armor to go along here. So this means that if you are getting attacked from the front, you've always got a shield of armor before it gets through to the next blade, and etc, etc. That is an intentional design, although it also provides a function of adding connection points for these electroplates on the outside, which that's a good benefit. And then of course underneath, because most of the damage I'm worried about is actually going to come from underneath, so that's where people are going to be shooting up at these items here. I've got all of this electroplate, strands of armor protecting the hovers, and on top I don't really do a huge amount other than making sure that the middle ones have some kind of armor over the top of them. I can probably expand on that, but the more armor I put up here, the heavier it gets on top, and it makes it less stable. So I don't really worry about protecting the corner ones because I don't need them to be stable. It's actually these two on the sides that matter, but I can lose probably 2 from a bank, and just have like one here, one here, one here, and my hovercraft will still work. I can still control it. And I've even had a scenario where I just lost all of this bank on that side, and because of this slightly offset pattern, I actually still had enough stability to move and control the design. So there is actual thought put into the blade placement. And with more lift, it makes to help a lot. Anyway, so yeah, that was my Bay 14 Megabot, and this is my Bay 6 Megabot. Now this one doesn't use any electroplate at all. This is an entirely T10, well not T10 but T10 and TX design. The TXs are in critical places in terms of structural reinforcement. Every single block that connects a gun on is using a TX block because they can absorb more damage, you know, the gunbrella effect as such. And I haven't really done a huge amount for mass management on this. Like you can see here, these should all be really tetras, but it just weighs a ton, and I'm still 400 blocks short of completing the design. So the overriding design goal of this one was to make sure that I could fit the entire bot into a standard bay, not require a mega bay, and it does fit into a standard bay. Just you have to build it in exactly the right spot, but you can just about squeeze it in there. So it is a viable design without needing to upgrade to a mega bay. But yeah, I wouldn't really want to see anyone trying to build it in there because that would be so awkward. But yeah, so again, this is a functional design, but it's just not really completed. Oh, and the other thing, how many guns can you actually get onto a mini Megabot as such? And my answer was 11. So it features 11 Mega SMGs, which is overkill. But I was just fed up with getting guns shot off, hence why I built this. Although in retrospect, some of how I've got the connection points designed is a little bit dumb, but yeah, I was just struggling to get things on there to begin with, so. Where is that damn drone? Ouch. Destroyed by Teslas. Great. I wondered what that noise was. Well, this design is supposed to lose sections to plasma. It's you will see on the internal structure that, yeah, okay, you'd think, yeah, it's going to lose sections to plasma, and it is. All of these various strands, they're actually there on purpose to prevent plasma from digging in deeper to the design. Unfortunately, when Tesla comes in, there's not much I can do about that, especially against concentrated attack. But yeah, there's just, it's all spaced, so plasma may destroy this, but it won't necessarily transmit down to this one, so I've still got a lot of the structural sections in place. And you'll see from the front, if I'm getting hit from plasma directly from the front, I've actually got 3 layers of armor. So you've got this layer here, another layer here, and then there's a 3rd layer that runs back through here. Lots of different structural elements that run through. All of them are separated and redundant. Then we got how the weapons are actually mounted on. So none of the weapon mounts are actually connected to the armoring sections. They're actually independent strands, other than we got this bit here, which for some reason that's connected on, but I'm not sure why. So yeah, we've got independent strands which run all the way through here for most of those connections. We've got a few elements like these to tie the outside armor on in other redundant ways, but most of it actually is connected from the bottom here, so it would take a fair amount of plasma to actually knock all of these off correctly. And then, yeah, so there is a lot of thought that's gone into architecting this design, and yeah, I wouldn't be able to do a build video on it if I tried. But hopefully it'll work slightly better in this game. I just got surrounded and was not paying attention to the people. Yeah, I made the cardinal mistake of actually staying in one place. Which, that's how you get killed in Robocraft, by not moving. And this is the map I hate most, of course. Kind of, but the armor on the top is actually spaced, so it doesn't matter if it hits the top. It's spaced so that the top layer will dissipate the damage in some ways, and there's separation enough so that most plasma will hit the top layer but not get through to any of the underlying structure. Oh god. Am I really stuck?
Let me reverse.
Medic flyers.
So yeah, it's kind of designed to lose all of the guns and not die. As you saw from that, I was getting a fair amount of plasma hits, but that's intentional. And yeah, the guns will actually take the initial plasma hits, so you see those 4 that are higher up. If I'm getting hit from overhead, the plasma will hit those, and then it'll try and transmit down through those strands. Those towers then act as conducting rods for the second set of plasma, so the plasma will hit those towers and then they all blow up. And then of course you got the next set of guns, and then you got the top layer of armor, the second layer of armor, and the third layer of armor before you can even get through to the pilot seat. So yeah, it's pretty solid. And yeah, the other Mega had an advantage. He had like 6 Mega Plasma, which is kind of death for this design. It's not great when a Mega Plasma can literally just wipe off all your guns in a couple of hits. So yeah, but you know, my team still won the game, so that's what matters. What else do I have? Let's play my little tier 5 sled thingy. Yeah. The guns are gunbrellas. Quite literally. I mean, it kind of makes sense to use them like that because they've got the biggest surface area to hit in the first place. Now this was just an exercise in what's necessary to get Tesla at tier 5, I think. And basically you have to sell your soul. Ah, damn you. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Good shot, Rails. Do we have another mega medic? Ouch, 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 ouch.
SMG tank spotted.
Ah. Whee.
SMG tank spotted.
Kill me. Ah. Almost escaped. Yeah, I'm not trying hard at tier 5. Why would I do that? Plus I have better tier 5 designs, I think. That's just a fun bot. I mean, if I really want to try hard at tier 5, I just run with this. Kill our tier 5 at the moment, but I'm probably not going to be that much longer on the stream. I need to get some sleep. Really? Oh god, and someone's got a wrecking ball design. God, I need to be able to get off the ground. I like the crane design, that is pretty epic. We won. Yes, I'm all tears. I didn't even try. Let's try that again. I want a proper game. Yarr. Shiver me timbers. Avast ye scurvy scum. Yarr. Captain Robblebeard be coming to plunder your booty with the block pearl. There we go. Just have to get enough speed so that it can fly. There we go, we've got people coming over here.
Plasma bomber spotted. Plasma bomber spotted. Static copy. Plasma bomber spotted. Static cruiser spotted. Real tank spotted.
Yeah, this is basically a glorified mosquito. If anyone knows what a mosquito design is, it's a rear-winged flyer that uses thrusters on the front for control surfaces. Ah. Well. Yes, Slice, it's me. Do you know flappy plane design? You probably know a mosquito as a flappy plane design, to be honest. Yeah, basically, let's switch to one of my screw around blades. So yeah, a mosquito is essentially where you just have where are we? Let's use... Oh, man, I don't even have tier 4 rudders. What is this? Your pilot seat goes around here. On the front, you do something like this, where you have, well, a bunch of thrusters, up, down, and that's more or less what you need for it to be basically functional. Then if you want guns on it, you just stick the SMGs on the side like this, add some additional ones underneath, that kind of stuff, and that's your basic flappy plane. So you don't turn conventionally, you're actually turning mostly by raising and lowering the nose and banking to actually turn. So yeah, and more advanced versions of that, obviously the pirate ship is one of them. You'll be able to see in the design that it's actually got twin banks of rudders here for the actual control surface. This actually makes it so that once you get enough forward momentum, you can basically glide across the entire map without having to worry about using the nose thrust. You've also got a lot of internal thrusters here. So around the back pilot seat here, we've got this entire thrust array and some redundant, oops, got kicked out, some redundant up thrusters, so that if we lose most of the shell, we've still got most of our control system available. And then we've got pitch and yaw thrusters and all that kind of stuff inside the nose. So yeah, and it's all heavily weight optimized. I don't think there's anything else you can really do to cut weight on the design. And for real advanced flappy design, where are we? This one. Now this takes it to a whole new level. Again, this is a fully Triforce design, so this strand here is not connected to the lower strand, so all of these rudders here are redundant. You got all of that kind of stuff here, and then we got the electroplates on the front which hide the control surfaces, so let's pull that off. And you'll see all of this. It looks like it's a solid block of armor. It's not. These are all individual strands of Triforced armor with some weird connection points, and it's all designed so you can lose individual strands but not lose your control system. So yeah, how did I connect that back on? There we go. And let's actually take this into combat. Yes, I'll show you the dragon in a minute. Yeah, the Kilo, that's the original Flappy, but there's a lot you can do with the Flappy concept. You don't need the front wings or anything if you want to have an effective flyer. I actually prefer... It's not called a Flappy, it's called a Mosquito. That's the original Mosquito design. But other people call them Flappies for whatever reason. Probably because of Flappy Bird, that damn game. Yeah, so as you can see, this it flies really nicely.
Plasma hover spotted.
And the reason it has so much electroplate is because I don't know, I just had CPU to use, so it was like, okay, let's put more electroplate on it, let's put more electroplate on it, and ended up with this amount. Ah, man, you beat me, you win. Wow, that was a lucky hit. Oh yeah, if we take all of this stuff off, this is a very complex tetraweave. I mean, we've got independent rings around the pilot seat here for structural reinforcement. You've got, oh god, I don't even want to get into it, to be honest. Just lots. And I forgot I didn't have clone mode on. Oops. Anyway, someone wants to see the dragons, so... This one. Currently equipped with plasmas. I mean, ideally I'd have liked to have just had a single plasma cannon in the mouth, but that was never going to happen. I mean, with a Megabot I might be able to do it, but yeah, this is... I've had this design for a good number of months, and the original design was a completely blue shell, and I've slowly been upgrading it to a tier 9 shell. I want to keep it as a tier 9 design because it's never going to be competitive at tier 10. But yes, it does actually fly. It's somewhat cumbersome to use, but it's still fun regardless. So let's go and play with it. Yeah, I don't know how the VLATS box is designed. I never really paid that much attention to it, to be honest. Did I end up keeping the lights behind the eyes in this? I may have done. No, I didn't actually. I had to take them out because it just wasn't viable. Poor person in this bus is probably thinking, damn, you got a dragon. What did I do wrong? No, don't get in my way. Here we go.
Plasma hover spotted. Metal cruiser spotted.
And again, definitely not a competitive design.
Medic flyer spotted. Hover spotted. Plasma hover spotted. Plasma copter spotted.
Ouch, getting hit by rails, not good. Not sure where from. I need heals.
Warhammer spotted. SMG tank spotted. Medic cruiser. Plasma hover spotted.
I don't know if I can save this. I don't have enough control to get back to our cap. Yeah, they win the game. Yes, their wings on the head. Yeah, basically without the wings on the head, the design just does not work. To try and give an explanation of how the entire concept works, yeah, you've got the little tongue type things in there, all for visual effect. There's actually, I think, 2 tier 4 blocks of helium within the head section here, which they kind of help hold the entire front section up. You got these for helping with some of the turns. I know they're only low tier thrusters, but you'd be surprised the effect they have. The wings here are necessary. They kind of look like big flappy ear type things, but they're necessary for control. And then the main lift wings are these ones, but the entire design can actually work off these tier 7 wings in the middle as well. And then of course we got the rear wings and a rudder. Yeah, again, you need the rudder for control, but you've got some thrusters here again for additional control surfaces. Thrusters, more thrusters, more thrusters, and inside you'll actually see there's a couple of hover blades. And these are what help just get it moving on the ground. So even if all of the wings get blown up and I end up on the ground, I can still move around. Although not very well. But yeah, let's give it another game on that. What cool windshields. These, this is actually a bug on ATI graphics cards. For some reason, some graphics cards do those windshield things. Do this weird distort effect. It's not intentional. It's a graphical display bug. Don't know why, but it's a known issue. Yeah, because I don't. T8 wings are bigger, I think. I don't know. What do I have even? Are these wings or rudders? They're rudders. I mean, if I want to swap them out and put rudders in there, but yeah, see those for wings? That's insane. I'd rather have the T7 rudders on there. They just take a lot less space. And yeah, T8s work on there, but the reason for the T7s is so that if I want to mount SMGs instead of the plasma on here, the SMGs would actually mount on the 2 rear points here and on the hands here, and then I'll take the plasma off so that I can actually run SMGs. Or for doing nanos, so if you're putting nanos on it or SMGs, then you need that extra CPU. But the only reason it's down to this at the moment is because I'm using plasma instead. So yeah, one more game. I forgot to put a vapor trail on tail. My bad. And I mean, the reason the wings are so arched like this is because this was made in a standard bay. Mega bays didn't exist when I built this 8 months ago. So I had to be creative with terms of using arched wings. But now that we've got mega bays, I could actually do the wings in a more flat plane, and it will look more dragon-like, but still. Maybe I will do that at some point. Or I'll just go ahead and build a working pterodactyl again instead.
Rail walker spotted.
Lost some of my control. Where's a medic? Do I have a medic anywhere that I can run to? It's all the way over there. And yeah, I can't hit anyone above me.
Interceptor spotted.
Now that I'm on the ground like this, I'm going to struggle to get back up.
SMG tank spotted. Cover spotted.
Let's see what I can do to assist my team over this side, away from the rails. Ah, let's not hit the fucking mountains. I think my team actually has this, wow. Whee! Okay, enough with that. And the other one you've probably seen is the crab. Oh yeah, you've got the turtle there. Which, that's a flying turtle. Never quite did manage to fix it after they updated some of the physics stuff. Which is not quite the same. And of course the crabs. Death crab. Yeah, I built a Tyrannosaurus Rex as my first art bot. That was actually probably my like third or fourth robot overall. And it was fun back during the day. I probably need to build another one though, a better one. Yeah, I was quite proud that I kind of got the T-Rex to scale, or as far as to scale as I could. Come on, wait times. Queue position 6, I was in 5. What's going on here? There we go. Man, slowpokes, can't even get to the cave in time.
Plasma hover spotted. Railcopter spotted. SMG tank spotted. SMG Plasma hover spotted. SMG spotted. Plasma walker spotted. Plasma hover spotted.
It's the problem with only having one top-mounted SMG. I can't hit air. Yeah. Wasn't going to go up against the rail and win. Using standard, I mean... I don't think you can fit tier 10 legs onto this, there's just not enough space. And again, this is an artifact of having... Yeah, there's no CPU available for me to be able to do this at the moment. But yeah, this is an artifact of the base just not being big enough to be able to accommodate bigger designs. But yeah, I probably could build a tier 10 crab now. It'd be cool to build a mega crab, but yeah, that's not going to happen because there aren't mega legs yet. Let's battle on the game online again. Let's try this one more time. Actually, no. Where is he? I think it's 7. I never bring this thing out. There we go. The fly. Poor little neglected thing. Yeah, eventually I'll probably end up tiering the crab up to 10. And just making it an all black armoured vehicle. I could if I wanted to, I just haven't got around to doing it. And it's more fun hanging around in tier 9 with stuff like that anyway. Tier 10 with artbots is a little bit crazy. Yeah, see, you barely see it on this now. Oh, it's starting to show up, but yeah, in certain angles you barely see the windshield glitch.
Rail tank spotted.
Ah, so unstable.
tank spotted. Rail flyer spotted.
Oops. Ah.
Rail tank spotted.
Yeah, I need to sit down and work out what the control issues with the fly are. It used to work really well, and then things happened, and yeah, they keep changing physics and stuff, and yeah, it kind of just doesn't anymore. Do I have anything else that's actually interesting to look at other than some 450 CPU designs? Not really. Tier 1 sled? I think it's still tier 1, yeah. Alright, tier 1 sled, this will be my last game. Oh, it's a tier 2 sled now. Okay, tier 2 sled. Let's knock this back down to tier 1. Make it fair. Can I put tier 2 plasmas or tier 2 SMGs on it? I believe I can. And it needed a couple on the front there. There we go. Let's move these ones back around there. Something like that. There we go. No! What went on there? What on earth? Try that again. Not sure what happened on that. I think it just didn't like me. I probably triggered EAC or something like that due to my Uber design. Okay, one more game with that and then we're done. I got too close. I like all the platoons at low tiers. It's interesting to see. I should feel bad for that, but that's a good game to go out on. That's tier 1. And yeah, for a quick overview of how this design works, basically you've got the central pilot seat, which is there. He's actually connected, I think, to the bottom, yeah, to these blocks here. It's got a couple of thrusters from a strand in front. Is it that low down? Yeah. And then we got all of these thrusters along the side, some more thrusters along this side. We've got controlled turning thrusters here, some more inside, and just a shell around all of that with guns on it, and it looks pretty cool. It could have used white blocks, but I used glass because I had plenty of CPU and I really didn't care. Yes, and these are actually, they are a functional piece. They're runners which have slightly lower friction than all of the blocks hitting the ground at once. So, or they seem to. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but it just seems to work better with them. Anyway, thank you very much for watching the stream. Hopefully FreeJam will release Respawned today, although I'm not sure if I'm really going to be able to look over it because I'm trying to get the house ready for doing a load of painting and stuff like that. But anyway, Again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to check me out on YouTube at youtube.com/Robocraft B01, and we'll see you around next time. Goodbye.